Hey, my lovely, beautiful souls. Thank you for tuning in today on my channel. This is Lizzie the Lightworker here, and today I'm going to do a twin flame reading. So I thought I had a request that we're going to do a Capricorn divine female, Capricorn divine female, and an Aries divine male. Okay? So we're going to get into it right here. It's going to be divine male here. So this is going to be the Aries, their personality, what they're like, what do they really like want, how they sort of interact, then like what needs work, future advice. We'll get the divine female on this side and, you know, sort of what's going on with her and her personality. Okay, so this is going to be the Aries male. Okay, so this divine male, this Aries divine male, he's sort of feeling a little trapped in his own mind. He is blocked. He is feeling isolated, discouraged. He is disillusioned. He feels trapped. He feels imprisoned. And I don't know if this is something that's already been going on for a long time or if it's due to this pairing. Okay, so whatever is really bothering him, it could be from his past. It's something that's really tied him up and tied him down. It's all in his mind. It's sort of like a trick of the mind. He's disillusioned into thinking that he can't change this, or maybe he can't change himself. He can't walk away. He can't move forward. He's sort of very stuck. Okay, so let's get into the personality a little bit and see what do we need to know here about personality, or a little bit more depth and detail. Okay, so the Eight of Wands in reverse, he is not taking a stand for himself. Something has backed him into a corner here, and he is not taking a stand for himself. Usually when this card is upright, it means you're fighting for yourself. It means you're defending your position. He's sort of in a little bit weaker of an energy here. He may not feel like he has a leg to stand on. He might not feel like he's worth fighting, or whoever he's fighting with is not worth it, or they're overpowering him, or they're stronger than him. There's definitely something with the divine male Aries here that he feels that either the battle's not worth it, or he can't get his point across the right way, or he feels like he's fighting a losing battle. Okay, so let's get into divine female over here. So our divine female is Capricorn. So what she's feeling is she has just made some major recoveries here. Her health may have recovered. Her finances may have recovered. She may have stabilized her finances in her life in that aspect. She might have started a new job. She might be paying off debts. She's definitely working on herself and getting a lot better. In the past was not so hot. She did struggle a lot. She could have even had some bankruptcy issues. She could have had lots of debts. She could have felt like she was left out in the cold and struggling. So she's definitely turned that around a bit, or she's working on turning that around. And then let's say more about it. Okay, so she was able to do that because this does have to do with the past. So the past could have been really lousy for her, negative, and sort of dragged her down in so many ways. But she sort of thinks about her past a lot, and she feels like tied to it, you know, sort of like it's part of her. And she needs to sort of distinguish that the bad parts of the past are not who she is. She dwells a lot upon the past, and in some ways she sort of like carries it in her everyday life. She might just spend a lot of time thinking about what she could have done to change things, or she might just have a lot of regrets or missed opportunities, and she does a lot of thinking about that in her spare time. But otherwise, You know, she's very kind and loving and giving. And this also is about children. So I don't know if there's children here or children between them, or if she's a single mom. I get that vibe a little bit. I'm not sure. It could be the opposite. Okay, so how these two come together, how they interact. Okay, so the way these two interact, we have divine male Aries, divine female Capricorn. When they come together, they're both, because this is in the middle, I'm going to say they're both sort of weary of any offers. They sort of go into like that sort of stagnant, sort of dissatisfied mode where they're both like confused. They really don't know what they want. They definitely don't want to get hurt. They're both sort of procrastinating, I want to say here. Something just maybe doesn't feel right on both ends when they come together. They might not just be open to what each other is offering or what each other wants. Let's get another card. Yeah, there could be a little bit of discrepancy here with what they want. This has to do with communication, blocked communication. And they're looking for that independence with each other. So they each want their independence. They each want to be able to take care of themselves. I think this is really big here because there needs to be self-care here. There needs to be more self-care here. So I think if they come together, that's something that they would both need to help each other with. They would need to help each other grow to this, where they're more independent, they're more financially secure, they're more secure in their everyday life, they're a little happier, things are a little more fruitful, and that's what I get. Sort of that they may need to work on this individually, but I think if they come together as a couple, that they would have to help each other do this a little bit and have patience with each other while they're working on these betterment things. Okay, so what needs work? Okay, so what would need work is sort of maybe not being so possessive. If they got into a relationship, they would have to not be totally possessive and like cling on to each other, if that makes any sense. Some people get very needy and very clingy when they first fall in love or they're first experiencing their twin flame union. So that energy comes and it's so intense and it does make you want to, like I said, cling for dear life to your other side. So they would have to sort of be a little bit precautious for that. Let's get another card. Yeah, I would say that they would be a bit blocked with their thinking. You know, this has to do with blocked thinking and no new progress or no new ideas about something that could work in the relationship. Future advice. Let's get a future advice. Ace of Cups. That's actually a good sign. Okay, so I'm gonna break this down. This divine male, he's a bit troubled. He's going through, I don't know if it's personal life, maybe it's his work life. Maybe that's the way he feels in this union. He might feel like he can't get a leg up. Maybe he feels like he never says the right thing, or he never does the right thing, or he's running out of energy. He's running out of steam. She's had to work on some bad past things: money, finances, breakups, possibly bankruptcies, sickness, being out in the cold, feeling like she's sort of worthless, or maybe she never was able to accept help to get herself in a better place. Now she's working on getting in a better place, or she is in a better place here, but she's very connected to her past and dwells on her past a bit too much. When they come together, how they interact, they're just sort of a little bit depressed on each end. They are not sure if they want to accept or open up to anything right away. They will have some issues with communication. They might fight a bit. They might disagree. They might not like what each other says. There might be a little bit of that back and forth. Ultimately, they need to get to this part, this position here, where they can be more independent, more financially free, more fruitful, have more as a whole, possibly money for the future, planning. They need to not be so possessive of each other. Once they reach a point where they have opened up to each other and they've accepted each other and they've gotten past some of this stuff in the past, they need to not be super possessive of each other and jealous and things like that. That won't work. That won't be good. And that has to do with ideas. So, sort of being open. They have to be more open with each other to ideas. They have to talk to each other. They have to communicate with each other. They have to say what's wrong when it's wrong. They have to express themselves really well, because this is blocked expression. And if they do that, the Ace of Cups is new love, fulfilling, divine, overflowing love. And that's ultimately what they can have here. They can have this new offer of love. They can have marriage. They can have children. They can have engagements. All of that can happen if all they do is work on these things. Okay, guys? I hope you enjoyed this twin flame reading for Capricorn, female, and Aries, male. I'll be back with more videos. If you would like to see a specific pairing, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll be glad to do your request. So as always, guys, like and subscribe, and many, many blessings to you all. Follow the rainbow moon.